Dr. Dingling. The doctor will see you now. Now, take a deep breath.
Hello, and welcome to Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, everybody? Over the line, brand new edition. That's right. What's up, John Bird?
What's up with you, man?
Looking good in that Chub Father shirt?
Yeah.
Got the new job?
Yep.
You liking it?
Yeah, my second day.
Good?
Yeah. There's one good and bad part about it.
What's that?
The good part, which is also the bad part, is that we get a free meal a shift.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they've got so many things there.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I can't eat a salad every day. So I've just got to, you know. So what I've started doing is I told Will, I said, you know, if you don't mind when it's not busy, I'm just going to walk all around the restaurant.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Man, that's weird, but all right.
All right. Tony Gump, how are you?
I'm doing fine. I suggest getting a cheeseburger each time, but just get no bun.
Hey.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that, but you know what? Will told me, he said, no, man, you can't eat red meat. I'm like, what? Gout.
Ah, yeah.
I looked up
gout.
fish. What the hell?
By the way, let me move you this way a little bit. You got a little jumpy. Wait, go back to Bird. Wait, right. Yeah, get in front of your microphone. Right there. Okay, that's it.
That's where I was.
It didn't look that way. So is Will doing some sort of contest to create a new burger?
Yes.
What's the story on that?
I don't know.
Okay.
But we're in the process of working on it. You'll be able to vote or suggest.
You submit your burger.
Yeah, kind of like John Bird plays the guitar, but it's like Will Chalowinski makes a burger.
I wonder if I should do that. Because, I mean, I get pretty creative with cooking. I think I could probably do something.
Yeah.
But people would accuse him of cheating or accuse me of cheating if I entered and I won.
That's true. Maybe, you know what? Maybe at some other time he could introduce your burger.
Well, I just
the over the line burger.
Oh, that's a good point. I just want to get free Chub Fathers for a year. That's really all I want.
Good luck, right, Tony?
That's hard to come by, yeah.
By the way, Tony had an incident happen earlier today, and if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it. But what you told me when I got here.
What? Oh, are you talking about the thief?
Yeah, somebody shoplifting at Vapor Forge.
What? How do you What? Okay, I got to hear this.
Long story short, because we have everything behind the counter, you can't just reach it, you know. So somebody asked to look at something, and our guy got a gut feeling about him, and we pulled out, you know, a certain product, and he looked at it, and as soon as my guy turned around, he just sprinted,
ran out the door.
Yep. So you know, what are you gonna do? But we have his face, we have his car, everything's on video.
I would have tased him.
Here's the thing, and I'm not. I know we're probably not going to do this, but if it were me, I would post his face on this podcast right now.
We're thinking about it because you can like read license plates and stuff.
Let's do the next one.
It's a very clear picture.
Oh yeah, we got cameras everywhere, real high resolution.
Guy
I don't know if you
like,
knew this.
He looks like Cam Newton.
We can have a thief segment, and people can send in videos from their stores.
Criminals that suck.
Oh my God, criminals that suck. There we go.
Yeah, well, this guy. I mean, we could catch him if we want to. We might put them out in Facebook. I don't know. I'm letting the wife kind of decide.
We could call it the Probation Podcast.
Yeah.
Probation and Parole Podcast.
Yes.
Well, the strange thing is, I mean, my guys, half of them are packing. So they're already, you know, they got a gun on their side while they're doing their shift. And this guy didn't have any weapon. He didn't have anything. It was just kind of like a quick in and out type of thing. So it's not like they could really do anything about it. You know?
Didn't have a face covering on, nothing. He just
No, I mean, his face is there. I thought about
clear.
putting it on this podcast, but
Just catch him right here. Catch him in the calf or something.
I don't know. No violence on this podcast. We'll see.
No violence.
No, that's not what I was
violence.
saying.
You know, in California, as long as it's under $1,000, we would let him go.
Yes.
But we're not in California.
This would have been about $26.99, so it was over the $20 mark.
Imagine that. You put your freedom on the line for $25.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty bad.
Now, I mean, I could see that maybe in New York or Chicago or Los Angeles, but Alabama?
I don't understand. I mean, listen, we're not going to be able to get into the head of this guy, but my thought process is, what are you thinking? You know, cameras are everywhere. Do you think you're actually going to get away with it? Do you think the store, because it's not like you snuck it and nobody noticed and maybe they won't see it on the security camera. Right. Like, you did it in front of everybody, so everybody at the store knows. Do you think that they're going to be the type of people that just say, no, it's okay, we'll let him go?
Okay, give me a description. How young was he?
I would say he was mid to late 20s.
Mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Okay, still stupid. Brain still developing up until the age of 25.
Yeah.
Okay, ethnicity?
He was an African American.
Black. He was black.
Well, so?
I mean,
if I was a police officer and I was talking to you and I was making notes, that's what I would say, right?
Yeah.
I'd say, what's his height?
I would say he looked to be about probably 5'10", 5'11".
5'10". And what color shirt was he wearing?
He had a coat over the shirt. I'd have to pull the picture back up, but you can see his
We're
face.
creeping closer and closer to showing this picture.
Does he have a mustache or a goatee?
No, he was shaven.
Tattoos?
Yeah, he was clean shaven, and his face is all there. So
Nose ring?
You listen. You discuss it with management, and by management I mean your wife.
yeah, I like to sleep on types of these decisions because I could get the guy in trouble, or I could just insult him or embarrass him. I guess
we could embarrass him.
I could put together a great little feature.
Oh yeah. What if John Bird does his? You know how he puts his head on these little characters, and we could do that with that guy and have like a little scene of him walking into Vapor Forge and stealing a.
I mean, we got the full video clip, him running out and everything.
Oh yeah,
hiding,
the
he
whole
ducked
thing.
and hid behind his car and then took off the other way.
Gosh.
Yep.
Oh man, thieves are the worst. They're the worst.
At least he wasn't smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
If there's anything good you could say.
That may have cost you $25, but guess what? At least it didn't go to big tobacco.
That's right. That's right.
It's hard to steal from us, so maybe he needed it that badly. I don't know. I got to sleep on it, and then we'll figure out what to do.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you can't steal from Vapor Forge without
No.
everybody seeing it. Like you just gotta you've got to decide that you're okay with everybody seeing you steal. Like otherwise you can't. There's no other option.
It's kind of like a jewelry store. That's how many cameras and how high res they are. We take security seriously.
I remember when you first took what cameras y'all did have and then turned it into Fort Knox and all the work that y'all put in running wires and everything. Like it was crazy. It was like a weeks long deal.
You gotta do it right, cuz.
Get all that hooked up. So, John Bird, I know you're not as involved in the news cycle as maybe you once were, but you're still paying attention.
I'm keeping up with it, and I listened some to Leland. I'm sorry, I just can't listen to you. It just, I can't bring myself to. Well, I can't. Oh my gosh, I've had my life ripped out from under me. My legs cut. My connection to all the wonderful line listeners gone.
You should at least try it.
I did try.
What
and
happened?
I cried.
You cried.
I did. You know what? This is what I'm going to do just for you. I'm going to listen to it and cry and feel depressed. Is that what you want me to do?
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm working Jump On.
Well, so I the last 2 days I've actually been, I would dare say I've been on fire.
Nice.
With shows. Yeah. Yesterday was better than today, but like yesterday's show, I was in a groove, man. And then today, I carried a lot of the Pete Hegseth confirmation hearings because it was live, and that stuff's interesting. We've always enjoyed that. So we're kind of on the backside of that as far as assessing what happened. And for the most part, it's it's the same song and dance. Republicans praise him, Democrats talking about how awful of a person he is and everything else. For instance, here's Mazie Hirono. This is the senator out of Hawaii, and she is pulling up old stories. These are stories from anonymous sources talking about Pete Hegseth as a drunk. He shows up to work drunk. He's drinking all day, every day, and everything else. Listen.
I have read multiple reports of your regularly being drunk at work, including by people who worked with you at Fox News. Do you know that being drunk at work is prohibited for service members under the UCMJ?
Senator, those
Yes
are
or no?
multiple false anonymous reports peddled by NBC
Do you
News
know
that run
that
directly
drinking on the job
contradictory to
is
the dozens of men and women at
Not
Fox News
contemplated
Channel
on it.
Listen how drunk she sounds.
Yeah.
and said they've
In your
never
opening
seen
statement,
that.
Mr. Hegseth, you commit to holding leaders accountable at all levels. That includes you, of course. And frankly, as secretary, you will be on the job 24/7. You recently promised some of my Republican colleagues that you stopped drinking and won't drink if confirmed, correct?
Absolutely.
Will you resign
She
as
does
Secretary
sound
of
drunk.
Defense if you drink on the job?
She's a
which
pina
is
colada.
a 24/7 position.
I've made this commitment on behalf of
Will
the
you
men and women I'm
resign
serving.
as Secretary of Defense
I've
if
made this
you
commitment
drink
on
on the
behalf
job?
of the men and women I'm serving.
What a stupid
because it's the most
question.
important deployment
I'm not
of my
hearing an
life.
answer to my question, so I'm going to move on.
Good.
Will you resign if you drink on the job?
She's a disgrace to all the Hawaiians out there.
You know, it's and I went through, and we won't what's the word I'm looking for? We won't not begrudge. We won't go through all the yentas on the Democrat side talking to Pete Hegseth and asking absolutely absurd questions. So instead, we just put together a short 10, 15-second clip recapping
That's the way to do it.
the questioning from the Democrat women to Pete Hegseth. This is what this is the recap right here.
Yes or no? Veterans organizations that will help our veterans get every damn thing that they deserve because they signed on the dotted line to keep us safe, just like.
So that's what the entire questioning was like.
What do
from
you
the women.
notice about that video? What do you notice?
They're all angry.
Not only that, and I'm not being sexist, that's a hint. They're all chicks. They're not chicks. You know what? Chicks are wonderful ladies that listen to our podcast and that listen to the line.
Right.
Those are hags.
Those are hags.
Every one of them.
Every last one of those hags. But when it comes to drinking on the job, Mazie Hirono obviously very concerned with the prospect of Pete Hegseth having a beer on the job because, you know, Pete Hegseth will totally be chugging beers out of a funnel at the Pentagon. You know, it's like, and we've had, not only that, but we've had a vice president for 4 years that we know absolutely has been drinking on the job. All you have to do is listen to her for 5 minutes and you'll say, that chick's drunk.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy, you know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it's very fragile. It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
Oh, God.
She is toasted.
She's like, it's so strong. It's so strong.
It's so fragile. What the?
Did you see? That's what she was doing. She was cupping. she was cupping the balls. Oh, man. She's
I
probably stuck
miss
that way.
Kamala.
So, well, you still got 6 more days of her before Inauguration Day.
No, I
so.
don't. She ain't gonna be on my TV.
What's some of the other absurd questioning they had? The drinking on the job. Infidelity was a topic of conversation with senators. And they claim through reports that Pete Hegseth runs around on his wife and everything else. And there was even accusations of an assault on a woman that he had relations with in a hotel, and they investigated it and they found nothing. Apparently what had happened is he had relations with this woman who was married. Well, she then regretted it, so she tried to come up with a cover story as to why she had relations, that, she was the victim of an assault, and yada, yada. Anyway, I don't have to go into those details. But Tim Kaine, Hillary Clinton's former running mate, this is all he's concerned about in this hearing. Out of all the questions he could have asked and all the things he could have talked about, this is what he said.
I have failed in things in my life, and thankfully I'm redeemed by my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
In finalizing divorces from your first and second wives, were there non-disclosure agreements in connection with those divorces?
Senator, not that I'm aware of.
If there were, would you agree to release those first and second wives from your
It's none of their freaking business.
Not something I'm aware of.
But if there were, you would agree to release them from a confidentiality agreement?
Senator, that's not my responsibility.
Did you ever engage in any acts of physical violence against any of your wives?
Senator, absolutely not.
But you would agree with me that if someone had committed physical violence against a spouse, that would be disqualifying to serve as Secretary of Defense, correct?
Senator, absolutely not have I ever done that.
You would agree that that would be a disqualifying offense, would you not?
Senator, you're talking about a hypothetical.
I don't think it's a hypothetical.
Yeah, it is, you jerk.
Violence against spouses occurs every day.
He looks like
And
a
if you as
crazy
leader
person.
Yeah,
are
he
not
does.
capable of saying that physical violence against a spouse should be a disqualifying fact for being secretary of the most powerful nation in the world, you're demonstrating an astonishing lack of judgment. The incident in Monterey led to a criminal charge, a criminal investigation, a private settlement, and a cash payment to the woman who filed the complaint. And there was also a non-disclosure agreement, correct?
It was a confidential settlement agreement off of a nuisance lawsuit.
Right. During an interview, you claimed that you settled the matter because you were worried that if it became public, it might hurt your career. Do you maintain that you were blackmailed?
Senator, I maintain that false claims were made against me. And ultimately,
Your attorney
those
used
false
the phrase,
claims,
your-
I have the opportunity to attest my innocence in those false claims.
So that and it goes even further than that. He then goes on to talk about how he accuses him of cheating on his wife after 2 months after his daughter is born. And his daughter and his wife are in there, and Tim Kaine's like, yeah, you cheated on your wife, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what a bunch of scumbags. Well, you hit women, blah, blah, blah. Tim Kaine just got through running around the country with Doug Emhoff, who not only slapped a former girlfriend on a red carpet, but cheated on his wife and got his nanny pregnant and then got an abortion. Remember what was her name? Do you remember we talked about it? It was so funny. Her name was, God, can we Google that? Just Google Doug Emhoff's nanny's name. It was something, it was just completely appropriate. What is it? It's Nadine. Go back to the search and it'll fill it in. Back up one. All right, keep going. Name. Or just hit N. Put in the letter N.
Okay.
Naylor was her name. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Her name was Naylor. That's what it was.
Doug's brother Jack.
Oh, Naylor. Yeah. And then Naylor and Jack Emhoff, you remember? Oh, yeah. That was good. That was the good old days. Oh, we had a whole thing about that.
Oh, man, that's right.
But anyway, a true testament to Tim Kaine's moral compass and how he feels about infidelity, cheating on your wife, and sexual deviancy all around. Here's Tim Kaine talking about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Something about your past, and it talks a lot about something you said back in, I think, 2002 about former President Bill Clinton, that he should resign if the scandal, the Lewinsky scandal, turned out to be true. You still hold true to those words you said back then?
I had some feelings of disappointment back then, but and that's now 20 years old. And when I'm talking to people on the campaign trail, they're not asking me about old controversies. They're asking me about tomorrow. What are we going to do tomorrow to have an economy that works for people, to have a stronger security posture through stronger alliances. And I hear a lot, what are we going to do to make sure we have a community that respects all? So, past controversies aren't that important to me now.
He doesn't care. Lewinsky, Schmalinsky, a cigar, whatever. It's not that big. And he's campaigning with Hillary at that moment. He's trying to get the first woman president elected. And it's like, the former president, he's a rapist and all that. But that doesn't matter. That was like 20 years ago. What's that matter? The beauty of what Tim Kaine was doing to Pete Hegseth in his questioning came after he was finished. And Representative Mullins, who's out of the state of Oklahoma, Senator Mullins, who's out of the state of Oklahoma, takes a baseball bat to Tim Kaine. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Check this out right here. This is good.
Some advice from
I
second in command.
Yeah, but I'm just making a point because there's a lot about qualifications. And I think it's so hypocritical of senators, especially on the other side of the aisle, be talking about his qualifications, not being able to lead the secretary or be the Secretary of Defense, and yet your qualifications aren't any better. You guys aren't any more qualified to be the senator than I'm qualified to be the senator, except we're lucky enough to be here. But let me read you what the qualifications of the Secretary of Defense is, because I Googled it and went through a lot of different sites, and really it's hard to see. But in general, the U.S. Secretary of Defense position is filled by a civilian. That's it. If you have served in the U.S. Army Forces and have been
guy back there's loving
it. You have to be retired for at least 7 years, and Congress can weigh that. And then there's questions that the senator from Massachusetts brought up about serving on a board inside the military industry, and yet your own secretary that you all voted for, Secretary of Austin, we had to vote on a waiver because he stepped off the board of Raytheon. But I guess that's okay because that's a Democrat Secretary of Defense. But we so quickly forget about that, and then Senator Kaine, or I guess I better use the senator from Virginia, starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night?
Oh.
Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it, because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce before cheating on their wives?
Oh.
Did you ask them to step down? No.
Look at Tim Kaine.
But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake. And you want to sit there and say that he's not qualified? Give me a joke. I mean, it is so ridiculous that you guys hold yourself as this higher standard and you forget you got a big plank in your eye. We've all made mistakes. I've made mistakes. And Jennifer, thank you for loving him through that mistake. Because the only reason why I'm here and not in prison is because my wife loved me too. I have changed, but I'm not perfect. But I found somebody that thought I was perfect. And for whatever reason, you love Pete, and I don't know why. But just like our Lord and Savior forgave me, my wife's had to forgive me more than once too, and I'm sure you've had to forgive him too. And so thank you.
There you go. What up? That's good. Man. That's good. Oh, creepy Tim Kaine. Somebody slap him in the face.
I tell you, man, what was that senator? Adam Sandler just gave it to him. He looked like an angry Adam Sandler.
Oh, man. It was like Adam Sandler versus Herbert the Pervert from Family Guy. Tim Kaine's like, you want a popsicle? Come on over.
That's frightening. Don't ever do that again. That's pretty good.
What's your opinions on these wildfires out in California?
Thank you.
Do you know that the Biden just approved one-time $770 check for residents of LA?
Now,
it's $20 more in North Carolina.
Exactly. And here's the deal. I'm watching, and as I switch through channels, including streaming services, there's this big production. Our hearts go out to California. Give. Give me a freaking break. What about my state?
Yeah. Tell them.
I tell you, I mean, there are people up there that are still living in tents. We're talking about the mountains. We're talking about 0 temps. You know, I mean,
and the people that are lucky enough to get a hotel, their vouchers running out, and FEMA's like, well, we got to inspect your house before you can go back, and they're just slow walking it.
Yep, and I mean, it is awful, but when you've got all these celebrities, and not all of them are, but they're starting to decry this, and it's like, you don't even need insurance. You can pay cash. These people have nothing
at all.
Nothing at all. And now I know there are a lot of people that are displaced in Los Angeles. Help them, yes. But don't pick one over the other. Well, California is a lot more high visible. Hollywood is there, so let's take care of them. North Carolina, what do you have?
Now, I got to say, doesn't this kind of remind you a little bit about Maui? It just seems like everything burned down in a certain area, and the next thing you know, the population got $700-something.
Yeah.
And it's turning into be a big land grab for people with a lot of money to get that prime real estate and then use it how they want to. And I've even heard some people talk about a smart city, how they're going to rebuild it and make it like
smart
a smart
LA,
city. Yeah, all that stuff. But I guarantee you that this is not because of the weather changing. This is an arson thing.
Yes,
and this thing was all planned out.
Absolutely.
All right, Tony, do me a favor. Ditch this one that you got right now and check your email real quick to the one I just sent you. Last night on Jimmy Kimmel's show, he was getting all kinds of choked up. Now, first of all, Donald Trump sends out this banger at 1:30 this morning. He says, how bad is Seth Meyers on NBC, a network run by a truly bad group of people? Remember, they also run MSDNC. I got stuck watching Marblemouth Myers the other night, the first time in months, and every time I watch this moron, I feel an obligation to say how dumb and untalented he is, merely a slot filler for the scum that run Comcast.
Oh, dang!
These guys should be paying a lot of money for the right to give these in-kind contributions to the radical left Democrat Party. These are not shows or entertainment. They are simply political hits 100% of the time to me and the Republican Party. Comcast should pay a big price for this. Oh, my God, that's pretty good.
Man.
And so this is Jimmy Kimmel. Wait, we might not be able to play this.
No, we'll get copyright stricken.
You think so?
For his show, it's not news.
Oh, how stupid. Anyway.
Well, wait a minute. Can we put the captions on and just have the volume down?
Let's play it. And if it cuts it out, it cuts it out. Okay, this is Jimmy Kimmel last night.
Very scary, very stressful, very strange week here in L.A. where we work, where we live, where our kids go to school. We are back in our studio, which we had to evacuate on Wednesday. That's our building right there, the El Capitan. That is how close this fire was to our theater here. Many of us had to leave our homes in a hurry. Some of our coworkers lost their homes. That's Hollywood. It's been terrible. It's been a terrible. Everyone who lives in the city knows someone. Most of us, multiple people.
This guy's crying like once a week now.
Families, friends, colleagues, neighbors whose houses burned down.
Poor Jimmy.
And the truth is, we don't even know if it's over. We had 100-mile-per-hour winds fueling this nightmare. As of tonight, the winds are back. And I think I speak for all of us when I say it has been a sickening, shocking, awful experience, but has also been, in a lot of ways, a beautiful experience because once again, we see our fellow men and women coming together to support each other. People who lost their own homes were out volunteering in parking lots, helping others who lost theirs. And tonight...
in the freezing temperatures. Oh, wait a minute.
That was North Carolina.
Get into all the vile and irresponsible and stupid things our alleged future president and his gaggle of scumbags chose to say during our darkest and most terrifying hour. The fact that they chose to attack our firefighters, who apparently aren't white enough to be out there risking their lives on our behalf, it's disgusting. It's not surprising.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Jimmy Kimmel, cry like a bitch. Yeah.
So he right there, if this got cut out on YouTube, him right there, he was claiming that Donald Trump attacked California firefighters because they weren't white enough. Okay. Now, ditch that one real quick, Tony. I got you a different one. It's second to last email I sent you. I played this on the show today, and I'm sending you this one, Tony, just to make sure it's edited to satisfaction. Okay. So Eddie Griffin And the reason I'm thinking about this is because Jimmy Kimmel is likely an pedophile pay. I just get that vibe. A lot of people do. Eddie Griffin does this podcast, but instead of calling it CNN, he calls it NNN. And I'll let you guess as to what NNN stands for. But he does this podcast, and he is just as straight up as anybody can be. I mean, in a way of you're almost like, I can't believe he said that. But I want you to listen as he discusses the wildfires in California.
Hello and welcome to another installment of NNN, where we give it to you straight, no chasing. Let's get right to it. LA is on fire. Now, a lot of people saying it's to cover up the pedophile trail, and all of a sudden the water ain't working. And hold on, 60% of the water rights is owned by this fucking couple. What's their name? Yeah, the wonderful company is owned by this husband and wife team. They own Pistachio, they own Fiji water. I stopped drinking any of that shit around the motherfucking globe. Let them motherfuckers go broke. Feeding pistachios and almonds, all that goddamn water. Meanwhile, people's houses burning down, dying of thirst and shit. All these sons of bitches. And regulators who allowed them motherfuckers to own 60%.
Oh, he just beeped all that out. He still said it.
They can't keep up.
What the fuck is y'all problem? That is public water. We built the dam that's holding that water and all that shit with taxpayers' dollars. How the fuck y'all gonna sign it over to this goddamn couple? Sons of bitches. Let's pray for the motherfuckers out there that houses is burning down and shit, unless they pedophiles. If they pedophiles, let that get burned. Because I know what you're doing. You're burning the evidence up, sons of bitches, but we still gonna catch you. And somebody do some research. In the rich neighborhoods, who had already left their house and knew that the fire was coming?
I mean, he's got a point.
Oh.
That's just funny that they edited all that and left one MF in there.
Maybe Angry Shakespeare should join his NNN.
Yes. Coming up next on NNN, we've got John Bird, Angry Shakespeare. Oh, that'd be good. That'd be so good. Anyway, I was just wondering what y'all thought about the fires and everything. And
what do you think, Andrew, about the fires? You think all this is like arson going on, or do you think it's just natural it happened, or what?
No, I think you're right. I think these fires were intentionally started, and I think that it's not just some crazed homeless guy that wanted to start a fire or started a dumpster fire or whatever. Mm-mm. I think it was intentional. I think it comes from a very sinister source. I think people were paid to start these fires, and you're still seeing it all over the city. People are running around lighting fires trying to, catch the brush or whatever. They're doing it in the middle of the city. They're not even necessarily doing it in the forest. Mm-hmm. There's videos every single day. There was one this morning of a lady who somebody had their trash out on the street, and she just went over there and started lighting their trash on fire and letting it burn.
Oh, I saw that one.
And so like it's much like Antifa. Most of Antifa didn't get out there to be a part of the resistance and got out there and started looting buildings and breaking windows and attacking police because they wanted to. A lot of them were being paid to do so.
Yep.
And I think you've got something similar going on with these fires. I think you've got the Antifa types that are being paid in some form or fashion to go out there and start more fires.
What do you mean? You got the water supply. There are so many coincidences that you can put together. And you know what? No longer is gone are the days you say, "Oh, yeah, listen to the conspiracy theorist." No, it's all out in the open now.
If you believe the government, you're the conspiracy theorist. If you believe the propaganda that's on TV and coming out of your elected official, you're the conspiracy theorist.
I got to say, like 20 years ago, me being the way I was, I didn't talk to my family about anything conspiratorial, because I think bad about that. But these last few trips I've had with them, I've made some pretty good shots.
What's their reaction?
Some of them are kind of stunned, you know, like they'll make comments or something like that, and I'm like, well, here's some facts for you, and it's almost like they don't know what to do. It's real easy to fool someone, but to like get them to reverse what they've thought for so long, it's damn near impossible. You got to really try at it.
Well, in the sense of talking about this stuff, you kind of do this for a living now, so you've got some credentials.
You got an advantage
as far as
there.
Well, some of them don't even know I do this.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So they don't care.
That's why I'm in the backgrounds, you know.
I mean, all it takes is education. They don't bother to do any type of research, so that's why Charlie Kirk just demolishes. And I mean, all he does is state the facts.
Yeah. Ask them questions that they can't answer.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just so easy to do.
And we all do this. We all do our research and we keep up with the news and everything else. And I think for us, it's like second nature. But I was reminded of this as I was visiting Gary Asher yesterday.
Right.
And he says, we're just so grateful for what you do, all the research and the work you put in and everything else. And I've had a couple other people say that to me. And I'm like, am I really doing that much work? I think my perception is I'm out here talking on the radio while there's other people out paving roads and slinging a hammer. And I'm just kind of like, I don't really have a real job. But people appreciate it because you're informing them so they can then go off and talk to their family and give them the truth.
You can't sell yourself short. You're passionate about it. You put the time in every morning. I mean, I think that's why the show is doing, does so well.
I've never been good at anything, really, except for this.
Well, I can say if you're trying to change somebody's mind or get them open to things, one thing has to occur first. They almost have to have that preemptive open mind. Like you can sit down and have a conversation with them. It's the ones that get so upset right away and they have to leave the room or they can't deal with it. So I've had family members not even want to look at a fact on my computer, like they couldn't look and they get all like it was these people have extreme TDS. I got to say that.
It's narcissism too, because it really, the core of it is that you are not willing to admit, whether to yourself or out loud, that you are wrong about what you believe. And if somebody's telling you something you don't like, that's the last person you want to say, you know what, you're right. So that their mind's closed from the jump, and you can't get through them. You maybe hope that you plant a seed that when they're by themselves and they're quiet and doing their quiet time or whatever, they start thinking about it. But in that moment, they're absolutely not going to give in.
And that's all you can do. You're not going to change their minds, but you can give them the information. They have to make that decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, focus more on trying to open their mind to the information versus shove it down there,
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's lessons for you if you're trying to red pill someone.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can say this. We had David Lynham on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
And that was
so much fun.
Oh, God, that was so much fun. I love that guy. I guess this is public knowledge because he kind of posted something on social media about it.
Yeah, if he's posted it.
I think he mentioned it, or was that after the show when he mentioned this?
It was. Oh, did he say something about it while he was here?
My gut says he did on the show, like he might be on it, but it might have been after or before the show.
So David Lynham got chosen to be on Kill Tony, the stand-up comedy show, which is like the mecca of stand-up comedy at this point.
Top notch.
And he texted me today, and he's like, "Man, I went out there and I killed it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Come on,
baby."
He's going to be too famous to talk to us very soon.
No, man.
And
he's always got time for the little people.
We got to get him in one more time before he takes off to the moon, because I mean, even on they have the table with the panel, like 4 people on the panel. One of them was Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis judging David Lynham in his comedy. Shane Gillis has the best Trump impression. Like, it's just the absolute best. When he talks about when they killed the terrorist, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi died like a dog. He died like a dog. He was crying. I'm like, don't cry, Abu.
I'm thinking about all these poor folks that were impersonating Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. I mean, they've only got a few more days.
That's true.
Because you're not going to hear from them.
Well, you think about Tina Fey. She had the spot on. What was her name? Palin from
Sarah Palin. Yeah.
Yeah, she had a spot on impression.
And Palin actually came on. Yeah, one time when she was doing it.
Yeah, if she would have been in, that would have been a 4-year gold mine for Faye.
Can y'all believe that we're 6 days away? We have an inauguration countdown? You've been texting it to us.
I've been going by the hour now, baby. You know.
Let's see exactly how many hours, minutes, and seconds we have until Donald J. Trump is inaugurated for President of the United States. From 45 to 47, baby.
Wow.
5 days. 18 hours, 9 minutes, and 57 seconds.
Wait, it says 138 hours. Wouldn't that equal several days?
Well, yeah, it's 24 hours in a day, 5 days.
Okay,
That's
all right. Okay, I see. It's broken down. I know that. Everybody shut up.
5 days, 18 hours, and 9 minutes. Can't get here fast enough. Man.
Oh, man.
So we're almost at the 5-day mark.
Yeah, it's close.
Oh,
my
crazy.
Gosh. Yep.
I'm going to poop my pants when he gets inaugurated. I'm going to do it. We're going to do the show here, right?
Yeah.
Or are we?
I mean, I plan on it. Can Bird do the show?
I'm not going to be here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've thought. Listen, I haven't pitched it yet, but I've been meaning to ask as like, since you're no longer tied in with the station.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're the same as me bringing on a David Lynham or just any kind of guest from time to time. I think. Well, and we obviously have to be when you're not working at Chub Fathers,
sure.
But I think I'm going to try to pitch that and see if we can't do that. And, if you're in the mood to do a little John Bird plays the guitar once in a while, the place would go nuts. The audience would go insane. They would, because they miss you bad.
Yeah, they do.
Well, we need to get into negotiations, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, we will. So,
that'd be great.
Tony mentioned something earlier about something you had prepared. You don't look very happy about that.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Oh.
We were talking about an OnlyFans, and I've started an OnlyFans account.
Right.
And I was feeling kind of down the other day, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna put together a promo
for your OnlyFans.
Yeah, and you can sign up for it. So I started shooting some video, and then I was really, really depressed. I said, you know what, this is gonna make me laugh, and then I did it. And I looked. I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I better do that."
And so you sent it to Tony.
And then I sent it to Tony, and what the hell? Sign up. Yep. Tony let it go all the way so that warning at the end happens.
Okay,
I want to make sure that does.
Is there anything we need to do to preface this, like what you're doing on your OnlyFans, or is it all self-explanatory?
No, it's
here?
Self-explanatory.
Okay.
It's self-explanatory.
Okay. I have not seen this, so I have no idea what's about to happen.
Okay.
And I will apologize in advance. Go ahead.
Welcome to the ultimate OnlyFans experience with the Doctor of Love, Dr. Dingling. The doctor will see you now. Now, take a deep breath. Now relax and say, ah. Dr. Dingling, you're such a bad boy. It's time for a new kind of checkup, ladies. Dr. Dingling, only on OnlyFans, where the doctor is always in.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh, this was
wow!
Bad. This is a bad idea.
Wow! That's a new level for you, my friend.
I told you it's the wildest thing he's ever done.
That is wow! That is a new side of John Bird.
I don't know where that came from.
And I've seen you do a lot of crazy stuff. That is extra.
But make sure you sign up. Look for Dr. Dingling. Just search Dr. Dingling. Hey, come on, Tony, stop. Oh, God, don't freeze it. Stop it, Tony! Oh God! Oh God! It's there forever.
Okay. That's enough.
I'm sorry, I had to.
I'll be clipping that one.
Oh God! Dr. Dingaling. You like the voice, the sexy nurse voice?
That was pretty good. I was not ready for your pants to be down though. That was.
I wasn't either. I don't know what happened there. I just thought, what else can I do? What else? I'll yank my pants down and show my ass. And then I was like, well, I can't, show that because it doesn't just show the ass. Showing other parts. So I put the big, ooh,
Oh my God.
Okay, I got the timestamp for the intro clip on that.
Good, thank you for that. I can't wait to pull that. First person I'm thinking, I got to send that to is David Line. I'm like, that's the guy that's going to appreciate it the most.
Dr. Dingaling. And if you noticed, I was so embarrassed, I shaved my mustache.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna leave that behind. That's a porn stash. I'm gonna leave that behind.
Wow, he worked so hard on that mustache. He was doing the white herb, and you shaved it just so you could pull your pants down on camera.
No. Afterwards, I was so ashamed.
Oh, it was after.
Yeah.
So you did have to.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I can't.
You got to change your identity, your appearance, and everything.
Yeah, and I'm getting a new hairstyle tomorrow, so everybody will see next podcast. It's gonna be a new and improved JB.
Are y'all wanting to cut my hair on this here?
Hell yeah.
Have you talked to your lady to see if she wants to do it, or do I need to find a?
Well, no, I'm getting my hair cut by her tomorrow. I'll talk to her.
We'll talk to her and see if we can get her to come up here, and I'll just do it live on the podcast. Not live, we'll record it, but.
Yeah, and side note about Bird's video, that was his own camera. I was not in the room, had nothing to do with that, just so you know.
You would have ended up with pink eye if you shot that.
Tony, that's bullshit. You know you were right there. We shot it in that little bedroom over here. Don't you dare. You know what? I'm going to pull up the
Wait a minute.
raw video.
You shot that video?
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I did. I don't know. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little awkward. He started saying stuff like, "Sell it, Bird, sell it. Come on, man, show some skin. Let's see that ass." I was like, man, no. It was me by my lonesome.
Okay. I was going to say, Tony Gump would have gotten pink eye if he would have been behind that camera.
I honestly wouldn't have agreed to do that. I would just set a camera up and be like, I'll be back.
Yeah. Do what you want to do. I mean, that's how OnlyFans works, right? You just set a camera up and you don't have to have a cameraman.
Yeah.
I don't
but
think.
my goal with Dr. Dingaling is the women that sign up, and chicks only, like the promo said.
Yeah.
What it will be is it'll be sort of like a Harlequin romance novel. I'll be dressed in different outfits.
I just can't get over this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like the people at Cumulus that fired John Bird, and they look back and they're like, boy, we really missed out on this guy.
Yeah. Chicks only.
Chicks only.
Chicks only.
Remember that.
Yeah. Homeboy, don't play that.
Chicks, not dicks.
That's right.
That's what we're looking for.
That's
here.
right. That's right.
Old chicks, no dicks. All right. I don't know what else to do on this podcast. I got to go. Like, my face hurts.
Oh, gosh.
Like, my whatever these are called, this hurts. Tony Gump, do you have any seductive final words?
Yeah. Subscribe to John Bird, Dr. Dingaling.
Dr. Dingaling!
Send like $50 and $100 donations.
Yes.
And make sure to get plenty of water, meat, sunlight, and sleep. Go visit Bird out at Chubb Father's Best Cheeseburgers in town. Woo! I'm excited. He brought me one today. Made my day. Thank you, John.
You're very welcome, sir.
Peace and be merry, everyone.
If you were to submit an idea for a new Chubb Father's burger, you could call it the Double Dingaling.
The Dr. Dingaling Deluxe.
Dr. Dingaling Double Deluxe.
Almost like a deli
with cheese
dinger.
fries on the side.
With that Cajun horseradish on top. All right, final words.
Yes. We've all been through tough periods in our lives, and we've done things that we're not proud of. Maybe, I don't know, you when you're a teenager, you wrecked Dad's car, and you felt really bad about it. But the important thing is to really show a contrite heart and to really be willing to own up your mistakes. I've made mistakes in my life, and I own up to it. And my God, I just saw one of the worst mistakes I think I have ever made. and I wanted to apologize for everyone for that promo that I did. I thought it was a good idea, but I have obviously, I'm always like, how far should I go? How far should I go? I know now not to go any further than that. So on behalf of myself and Dr. Dingaling, I would like to apologize to everyone, and look forward to seeing you again, and look forward to seeing you.
What was so great about being Bert on the radio is I would play this role where I would try to push him as far as I could get him to go. And now look at him. He's on his own doing this stuff.
Oh, my gosh. What's happening to
broken John Burt. You would have never done that with Matt Murphy.
Oh, God, no.
Or Rick and Bubba or anybody else. You'd only do that with us.
If he did that with Murphy would be sending him the clip every Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, birthdays.
Good stuff. All right, well, we'll get out of here. So, confirmation, Hegseth, wildfires, and Dr. Dingaling. All in one podcast. That's what I'm going to name it, actually. So,
right.
Anyway, wonder if Jimmy Kimmel doesn't get cut out of this episode, but then Dr. Dingaling does.
I'm sure he would like Dr. Dingaling, actually.
He probably does. He probably
Give his
would.
agent a call.
All right, until next time, see you guys.